family-style lunches?
My name is Blake Leo, and I strongly believe that school lunches should not be homestead.
All right. Affirmative, constructive.
Have you ever been last in the lunch line before? I know I have, and I usually wait a while before I got my meal. If we said family style, that problem and what can be avoided. Because when you think about it, there will be less wasted. My first point is that there will be less wasted food. Because kids would only eat the food they like, and they'd only eat the amount they like, so they would eat less. And the school would be able to see which dishes are popular based on how much is left, and so they can figure out what to serve and what kids like more, which would reduce waste on future meals. The second point is no one would have to wait in line. Because kids who were last in line had too little time to eat. I remember when I was last in line and I had about 5 minutes to eat my lunch before we went out to recess. And if there are no lunch line, kids would be able to sit with their friends before tables fill up. And lunch would become more enjoyable and fun. My last point is would allow school to help teach table manners. Because kids would have to learn how to share the food, how to pass the food properly, and it would help them learn how to clean up and teach them about cleanliness. My plan of action is to try to have one lunch, a family-style lunch, and if it works, take this matter to the school board and see if we can serve family-style lunches. That is why I strongly firmly believe that District 112 should serve family-style lunches.
Negative, process.
For your third point, table manners. Even if it isn't a family-style lunch, you still be learning manners like not to sneeze, to cover your arm, and just if you want to pass food, do it. Even though it's against the rules, you're still learning manners no matter what happens.
You have a question?
Oh yes. What would be the difference if we had regular lunches and the table manners?
Well, we'd actually have to pass food and know how to take and not hog the entire thing, and help you learn how to share the food. While as we do trays, we have to we get an amount and we eat an amount. Don't you agree?
I do not. The reason for this is because when you're at home, you already learn lots of home-style family manners. And to be honest, at school, I don't think school is all about manners.
Let's make sure that Kian, don't ask any questions. You just need to ask questions, okay?
Yeah.
So you're asking questions. Your opinion right now, you're just asking him questions.
Yep.
That's for rebuttals to offer your opinion. This is process, this is questioning.
Okay. So for your second point, don't wait. You get last in line. Even there's a specific time. Why would it be different if you were the last one in line? You still have plenty of time to eat.
Not really, because depending on the thing, like with the safe pizza, which in high school, lots of kids love to eat. The line can get really long. So sometimes there isn't a lot of time to eat, depending on how many kids are in the line.
Exactly. Sometimes. Sometimes you're in front, sometimes you're in back. So, for your third point again, table manners, I don't really know.
You have to follow up with you went from your third point to a second point, so your follow-ups need to stay on the second point. You can't jump points.
Okay. So, what would be the difference if you didn't if one day you got first in line, the second day you got last in line? Wouldn't that be equal?
Not really, because if you want to sit with your friends, let's just say your friend is first and you're last, and the table is fills up, and you were forced to sit with people that are your friends that don't people that are your friends.
Well, I think it's lovely to make all new friends. So for your first one, the dishes that they like, you could pick.
We're all done now.
You can, wait, you can ask one more question on the second point, but you only get 2 lines of questions. You've got one question left, you got a second point if you have one.
Shouldn't you always be able to make new friends, even if you don't sit by your real friends?
Yes, but I think the whole point of fifth grade is to like have your friends in elementary school, because when you move up to middle school, you're meeting whole new people, and who knows if you'll, and the grade's like almost double in size, so who knows if you won't see your friend as much unless they're in like your classes and stuff.
Right? Negative.
I strongly believe that school lunches should not be altered in any way. Thanks to the muddy footprints all over the place and the shoving of 100 Russian students into the cafeteria at once, I fell and injured my leg instead of easily grabbing my lunch and eating with my friends. I had to make a visit to the nurse. As a result of food messes on the floor of the cafeteria from family-style service, you want this to happen to you each and every day. My first scintillating point is based on time. Cooks would spend way too much time placing food in appropriate table-sized containers and bringing serving containers to and from tables from the kitchen. As a result, students would also have delayed lunches, which is not fun for hungry learners. Students, especially the younger ones, would be quite unhappy about waiting for their food. School schedules would need to be modified to deal with these health problems. My second brilliant reason is based on cost. What about all that money that would be used to purchase each and every container and serving utensil for every table in the cafeteria? What about the cost of hiring employees to wash all those extra dishes? Extra cooks would be necessary to act like waiters to deliver students' food to and from the tables, as well as to place the food in appropriate table-sized containers. After all, it is a cafeteria, not a restaurant. These money eaters could force the school to cut funds in other areas, such as playground equipment. Students would not appreciate or prefer serving containers over swings and slides. My third and last dazzling point is the mess, caused by students serving themselves. The tables and the floor would certainly be a disaster after each round of eating. Custodians and cooks would struggle to clean up all those messy spaghetti spills. These messes would definitely not be appetizing. Why eat food from a plate when there's food all over the table and floor? Custodians already have a great deal of responsibility in elementary school. Do we really want to add more work for them, which is not very kind? And my final statement is, why don't we just take all the school's money and throw it out the window? Because if this change takes place, it will just be $1 thrown out the window at a time. Instead of buying huge numbers of serving bowls and utensils, why not just keep it the same way? Basically, why fix a bridge if it isn't broken?
And that is why. And I strongly believe.
I strongly believe that this school's lunches should not be altered in any way.
Whenever you're ready, Kian. What's your thoughts?
So you say for your second point about the cost that you would have to put more food and buy more containers, you'd still be making the same amount of food, just you'd be putting it on the table instead of having kids wait in line to get the trays. Isn't that true?
Well, if it's family style, you wouldn't have trays. You would go to the table and there'd be a big container on each and every table filled with food like an appetizer. And then people would come and give you your food kind of like waiters, home style.
Well, the food would already be on the table. There would be no waiters.
Well, if it's family style, then at the beginning, there's an appetizer. Then people bring your main course.
Wouldn't that be like a restaurant instead of home?
Exactly. After all, it's a cafeteria, not a restaurant, as I stated in my second.
Okay, Kian, you can go on to the next line of questioning.
And for your third point about the mess, you said that there would be lots of messes, but as I said in my third point, it would help teach them about cleanliness and about how to try not to spill.
Well, what about first graders? I don't think they would be able to pick that up for manners that easy.
Blake, you can't ask him a question back, you just have to answer
And let him
his.
finish. Let him ask you a question, okay, before jumping in.
So yes, but isn't that true? Eventually they will pick up the manners, isn't
first grade, it wouldn't really be that very helpful. So I think it should just be read enough.
I think, wouldn't it prepare them for like, wouldn't it prepare them for like the grades above and how long would they do go to a restaurant? So it would help them in their go to a grade.
Well, it would help them, just not in first grade. Because in first grade, they don't really pay attention to all their surroundings.
And you've got one question left if you want it, Kian.